In a village nestled between rolling hills lived a tiny claymation figure named Flicker. Flicker had a big job for someone so small. Every evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Flicker lit the village lamps. He scampered from lamp to lamp with his trusty ladder, a miniature hurricane of motion. Each flame he kindled pushed back the shadows and brought a warm glow to the cobblestone streets. Flicker loved his job, for it meant bringing light and comfort to his friends and neighbors. It filled him with a sense of purpose and pride. One day, a traveling circus arrived. Its wagons a kaleidoscope of color against the green hills. The air was filled with the scent of popcorn and the distant sound of laughter and music. It was as if a piece of a magical world had descended upon the quiet village. The villagers gathered, buzzing with excitement. Children tugged at their parents' sleeves, eager to see the wonders that awaited them. The town square was alive with chatter and anticipation. Flicker, usually the center of attention, found himself unnoticed amidst the hubbub. He watched as everyone else seemed to be swept up in the circus's magic, feeling a pang of loneliness. A friendly clown with a painted smile saw Flicker's downcast face. The clown's eyes twinkled with kindness as he approached, his oversized shoes making a soft thud with each step. He beckoned Flicker closer, offering him a chance to join the circus. "Come with us," he said, his voice warm and inviting. "There's a place for you here where you can shine brighter than ever." "You'll bring joy to thousands," the clown boomed. "Imagine, little one, the cheers, the lights, the applause. Every night a new adventure, a new story to tell." Flicker's heart pounded. It was a tempting offer. The thought of being part of something so grand and exciting made his pulse quicken. He imagined himself showered in confetti beneath a big top, a star instead of a humble lamplighter. The vision was so vivid he could almost hear the crowd's roar and feel the warmth of the spotlight. Yet a knot of worry tightened in his chest. Doubts began to creep in, clouding his thoughts. What if he wasn't good enough? What if he failed? Who would light the village lamps? The responsibility weighed heavily on him. The village depended on him to bring light to their nights, to guide them through the darkness. The circus was a whirlwind of activity. Flicker juggled glowing balls, rode a unicycle under the spotlight, and even learned to swing from a trapeze. The crowds roared their approval, and Flicker felt the thrill of their adoration. But as the days turned into weeks, a pang of guilt started to gnaw at Flicker. He missed the quiet rhythm of his village, the friendly faces, and the comforting routine of lighting the lamps. The cheers of the crowd couldn't drown out the whisper of his promise to his village. Section 4. A beacon in the storm. One night a fierce storm raged, the wind howling like a banshee. The sky was a tumultuous sea of dark clouds, and the rain lashed down in torrents, drenching everything in its path. The trees bent and swayed under the force of the gale, their branches creaking ominously. From his wagon window, Flicker saw flashes of lightning illuminating a worried crowd. The faces of the villagers were etched with fear and concern, their eyes wide as they looked up at the sky. The storm was unlike anything they had ever seen before. The circus was leaving in the morning, but the storm meant Flicker couldn't shake off the thought of his village plunged in darkness. He remembered the stories his grandmother used to tell about storms like this, and how they could bring both destruction and renewal. He knew what he had to do. With a determined look in his eyes, Flicker made up his mind. He couldn't let his village suffer in the dark, not when he had the power to help. Slipping out unnoticed, Flicker raced through the storm, his heart pounding with determination. The rain soaked him to the bone, and the wind tried to push him back, but he pressed on, driven by a sense of duty and love for his village. He arrived drenched and exhausted to find his village battered by the wind and rain, the lamps extinguished, and the villagers huddled in fear. The sight of his home in such a state filled him with a renewed sense of purpose. He knew he had to be the beacon in the storm. Section 5. The Light of Loyalty. With renewed purpose, Flicker climbed his ladder and lit each lamp. Each step he took was filled with determination, and every lamp he lit brought a sense of fulfillment. The village had been shrouded in darkness for too long, and Flicker knew that his task was more than just a job. It was a mission to bring hope and light back to his beloved home. As the familiar glow spread, chasing away the darkness, cheers erupted. The villagers gathered around, their faces lighting up with joy and relief. The warm light not only illuminated the streets, but also rekindled the spirits of the people. It was a moment of collective triumph, a testament to the power of unity and the impact of one individual's dedication. The villagers had missed their little lamplighter, their beacon in the storm. Flicker's absence had left a void, a darkness that no one else could fill. His return was like the dawn breaking after a long, cold night. The villagers welcomed him back with open arms, grateful for his unwavering commitment and the light he brought into their lives. The circus left with the dawn, but Flicker stayed. The allure of the circus, with its bright lights and roaring applause, had been tempting, but Flicker realized that his true place was among his people, where his light was needed the most. The dawn marked a new beginning, not just for the village, but for Flicker as well. He had learned that true joy came not from the applause of a crowd, but from the warmth of loyalty and the light of a promise kept. Flicker reflected on his journey and understood that the most profound happiness came from fulfilling his duty and staying true to his word. The bonds he had with the villagers were stronger than any fleeting fame, and so, every evening, Flicker continued to light his lamps, a tiny figure with a big heart, reminding everyone that true loyalty shines brighter than any spotlight. His actions became a nightly ritual, a symbol of hope and steadfastness. Flicker's unwavering dedication served as a beacon, guiding the village through the darkest of times and illuminating the path forward.